So recently, it's been discovered that a lot of physical Nintendo Switch games, especially here in North America, are just starting to disappear off of store shelves, and many of these stores are no longer selling them. And some of these types of games are actually very surprising given that they're going out of print supposedly, so what exactly is going on? So a few days ago, we got this tweet here from Nintendo, which says, Paper Mario the Origami King North American physical release is out of print now. Perhaps Nintendo doesn't want multiple Paper Mario titles available on store shelves at the same time. Looks like you can grab a brand new copy on eBay for $49.99. So basically, it seems like Paper Mario the Origami King is starting to disappear off of store shelves, and that they're no longer producing any more copies of these games. And so if you have a copy physically, you basically are one of the few ones now who has one, as it's very hard to just go into a store like GameStop or Walmart or something and be able to find a copy of this game. Now maybe some of your stores nearby still have it, but the point is it's going to be more and more difficult as they start disappearing off of those store shelves, as Nintendo seems to be no longer making any more. And so like the theory here was, with of course the Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door remake coming out this year, maybe Nintendo just doesn't want two big Paper Mario games kind of close to each other and having people get confused as to which one to get, so that way they're just removing this Paper Mario game so people don't really see it in the store, and that way they're more interested in buying the new one. But then it also gets interesting when we take a look at some of the other stuff that's going on, as here was another tweet also by Nintendo, which says Pikmin 3 Deluxe seems to be out of print now. It's unavailable on Amazon, you can't find it on Best Buy anymore, GameStop removed it from their system, and Target also removed it from their system too. It seems like you can only get it on Walmart right now, and that seems to be just one of the few places that you can find this game physically in North America. And it's kind of weird because it seems like this is a game that's also, of course, you would think like with Pikmin 4 recently coming out, people being excited, you would probably want to have this game on store shelves too, but that is also now seemingly being removed. And if we take a look here on Reset Aero, we can see even more of these types of things being discussed, as there's actually a handful of games now that are being removed, as here's another one here about Metroid Dread, with its physical release only being available at Best Buy right now, as Target has it removed from the system, GameStop removed it, and it's unavailable on Walmart and Amazon. And then it says here, these are just 3 of them, and there are even more that A Shadow Link was able to uncover on Discord from Amazon, which the US Nintendo site uses, in addition to one I personally uncovered. So here is a list of all of the physical copies of Nintendo Switch games that are seemingly going out of print and no longer being restocked anymore in terms of their physical copies. So we've got Paper Mario the Origami King, we've got Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening Remake from 2019, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Metroid Dread, Kirby Star Allies, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Fire Emblem Engage, Yoshi's Crafted World, WarioWare Get It Together, Nintendo Switch Sports, Super Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, Super Mario Maker 2, and Mario Strikers Battle League. Now some of these games I feel like you can kind of understand, like Kirby Star Allies. Kirby games don't really sell like an insane amount, and of course with Kirby Star Allies we had Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which came out after, and that definitely seems to be the more recent one, and also the Kirby game that a lot of people seem to love, so it makes sense that Star Allies probably won't be getting like a lot more new copies being restocked, and people aren't going to be like super interested in getting that game after Forgotten Land has been out. But it's just weird because some of these types of games on here, like Fire Emblem Engage isn't even 1 year old yet. In fact, the game is about to turn 1 year old, I think in like 6 days from when I upload this video, so the game's not even a year old and you're telling me they're already stopping physical production of this game? It's definitely kind of a little weird. I mean, I get Fire Emblem games don't really sell like insanely high, but now even Fire Emblem 3 Houses is gone. Like both of the big main Fire Emblem games on the Nintendo Switch are just seemingly gone now from physical copies. But then we've also got ones here like Super Mario Odyssey. Like that's a top 5 Nintendo Switch best-selling game. Like you can literally see that on Nintendo's charts, and if somebody was buying a Nintendo Switch right now for the first time, that is definitely one of those must-play games that I would recommend for them. And it's kind of crazy that we could actually be having people go into the store, buy a Nintendo Switch for the first time, and not see Super Mario Odyssey in terms of a physical copy available on the store shelf for them to pick up. And so why exactly is this happening? What could it mean? Well, there's a couple of theories that people seem to have for what this could be hinting at, but the one that I've seen a lot of people discussing is that Nintendo could be gearing up for the return of the Nintendo Selects. Now, maybe some of you guys remember what Nintendo Selects are, but back in like the Wii era and also the 3DS and the Wii U era, whenever there were games that sold really well or were pretty popular, eventually Nintendo would release them as something called Nintendo Selects, where they had like this special branded like red packaging and then like a special gold ribbon in the corner that said Nintendo Selects, basically showing that this was a game that a lot of people really loved, but these games would be sold at an insane discount. So like on the Wii, you were getting games like Super Mario Galaxy for $20, and these were some really insane discounts to the point where like if you were going holiday shopping around Black Friday for like $80 to $100, you could end up getting like 4 or 5 really good AAA games for a Nintendo system. And obviously with the Nintendo Switch era, Nintendo hasn't done those types of discounts at all, as they pretty much didn't really ever need to, as the games were still selling so well even at full price, even like Breath of the Wild being $60 still, even though its release was in 2017, it's still selling well, so they barely ever had to do discounts, and anytime they ever did, they were pretty minimal discounts like $10 or $15 off. And so while it does seem like now that the Nintendo Switch era is kind of wrapping up, Nintendo could be trying to re-release these types of games with their Nintendo Selects branding and just trying to squeak out as many sales as they still can. So that is a theory that some people have, but I'm not really sure if I really buy into this. I also think it's just possible that Nintendo had a limited amount of these physical games, and even for like the really popular ones like Super Mario Odyssey, they just don't really seem to care now, even if the physical copies are out of print, because these games are all still available on the Nintendo eShop. And that's the thing, is like these games are not gone permanently. If you still really want to play them, you are able to go into the Nintendo eShop and be able to download all of them and still be able to play them, so it's not like they're gone forever. And the thing about this is that Nintendo does make more money from the eShop than they actually do from physical copies, as there's actually money that goes into like the cartridges and producing them and manufacturing the plastic and all of that you have to give to ship out to the retailers. So instead, if you just buy the game directly from Nintendo's server on the eShop, they make much more money from that game compared to if you bought it physically. And unfortunately, we are sadly moving to that all digital future one day, where everything is going to be available just digitally, and there is no longer going to be any physical media slot on your video game consoles. You're not going to be able to buy video games physically at all, and that's a whole other video that I want to make one day, because it really does make me sad that physical media is just going to one day be completely gone. And it might not be like right away, but I do think in the coming years, eventually we're no longer going to be able to buy any game physically, and everything is just going to be streamed and digital, which is really unfortunate. And then really the only other theory that people have about all of this is the tinfoil hat theory, where you can put it on and start speculating about the next generation Nintendo system or the Nintendo Switch 2, as it's very likely that the next Nintendo system is going to be backwards compatible with the current Nintendo Switch, meaning you're going to be able to play all of your current Switch games on the next system. And because of that, Nintendo might be planning to slowly start doing a slow transition where all of the physical games that you start seeing on store shelves are going to have like a new packaging, where even for like the games that are currently available on the Switch right now, it's going to be like this new packaging that basically says that you can play the game on the new Nintendo system, being the Switch 2, but you can also play them on your current Switch as well. And that way it's going to be like a slow transition, and maybe this could be like the first batch of games where like you're going to see a new version of Super Mario Odyssey start appearing on store shelves, where the cartridge is the exact same as the one you have right now, but basically the box art and like how it looks like on the outside in the plastic wrap, it's going to say like compatible with Super Nintendo Switch and also the current Switch as well, as that way it's going to make it easy for people to know that you can still play it on the new system as well. And so maybe that's something that they could also be planning to do, but I don't know, I feel like the real big reason is just because they want to encourage people to buy these games more digitally, as it does make them more money in the end, and they do want to kind of start phasing out physical copies over time as well. So it is unfortunate, but that does seem to be kind of what's happening here, so I guess we'll just have to see. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel as well. I'm definitely going to have some more videos talking about the next generation Nintendo system as the information comes out, so definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below and let me know what you guys think about all of this. Do you guys think that there's any reason for why these physical copies of Switch games are starting to become hard to find and going out of print? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say, just comment your favorite emoji for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.